Hey everybody, Horseman here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a video of Outriders Worldslayer. It has been officially released for those who have pre-ordered. We get that 48-hour head start. Now, one thing to understand is that it had a really rough start. It officially went live at like 11 o'clock my time here in Texas, but didn't actually get access to it for several hours later. They were having some pretty serious server issues, and a lot of folks were lighting up the internet. And but glad to see that it's actually working now, so kudos to the team for getting on it real quick. Wish it didn't happen in the first place, but, you know, c'est la vie. With that being said, just going to go ahead and make it a point to let you know that I actually already completed the Worldslayer story. When, do you ask? No, I did not complete it today. I actually completed it during the beta. We were given access to the entirety of the expansion, but there was an NDA, so I couldn't share any information or post any videos or anything like that. And I would have loved to have done so. Simply out of, you know, being able to show what I did like, what I didn't like. So I'm just going to talk through some of those things now. I did get through the story a little bit, but due to some technical issues, I wasn't able to record in the way I wanted to. Sound wasn't working, and also my frames were taking a pretty big hit. So here we are. I'm kind of starting over, so that way you can get a brief look at the beginning of the game. And to be fair, I'm probably going to be making videos for the entirety of the Worldslayer expansion. So if you do want to see more, go ahead and come back for more. One thing I did not get a chance to do was play through the endgame content, and that was just simply because I got distracted and forgot that there was a time limit on the beta, so I didn't get into it, but I did complete the story. And
Outrider, the last drop pod should be just up ahead.
Got it. Drop me here and find a site to make camp.
If you don't
Better move fast, Outrider.
Look away.
Big storm coming.
Great. Zahidi, I found the pod. I'm going in. Looks like you're not the only one trying to get at it.
So, as I was saying, there's going to be some spoilers in this, obviously, because I'm going to be playing through the intro areas. And as I stated before, I did get through a few things. But before I really get started in the fighting and whatnot, I do want to show y'all some things that I have learned already. During the beta, I was able to collect some loot, and you'll notice that I have some epic tiered weapons and armor that look a little bit different. This is going to be our apocalypse gear. And one thing to note right away is that there is that purple banner at the bottom. It's a third modifier which other gear does not have. And that's what makes this gear stand out a little bit more than our other gear. Now, the problem that I have with this is that, yes, I'm glad to see that we have an additional tier of gear, but that third passive is not something that can be modded out, meaning that if your first and second modifiers are just absolutely awesome and you got all the right secondary stats and your armor or your weapon damage is just, you know, god roll, if that third modifier does not match your build, or it does nothing for you, and you don't like it to the point where it just like breaks your stuff, well, guess what? You're stuck with that third modifier no matter what. I got lucky with this particular one because Bloodshock was something that I was already using on the helmet that I was using previously. So, with that being said, I changed out an Impale modifier for that first one into life absorption, so now this actually gives me a much better piece of equipment. The two class specific modifiers are precisely what I need, and that second modifier is definitely a bonus. So long range damage is not something that I need, but either way, what's cool about this also is that we not only get that third modifier, but we can also get some additional type of crafting material called anomaly extract. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this since I don't need that piece of equipment. and it's gonna go away, and I'm gonna get some anomaly extract, which is gonna be used to help to improve apocalypse items going forward. So I haven't yet got a chance to dabble in that yet either, but it is what it is. Okay, so skills don't change at all whatsoever. So matter of fact, from what I've seen so far, there hasn't been any additional passives to also acquire, which is fine, really. I mean, honestly, it would have been neat if another class came out, but you know, it is what it is. All right, so for the class, things have changed up here. You'll notice that I now have my specific class, in which this is the Devastator. I've already maxed out the level, 30, and then I have no additional points. So this does not change, okay? But now there's also packs. So let's take a look at this. We have Vanquisher, Warden, and Seismic Shifter. If I go to packs, I'm going to get 2 additional tiers of trees that I can spec into, and I will get a maximum of 5 points to go in. So it's not like I'm going to get a whole bunch of points and I can take a little bit here, take a little bit there. You kind of have to choose exactly where you want to go and build towards that. Now that doesn't mean you have to get your capstone passive here. If the build that you're trying to make doesn't include one of these capstones, fine. But if it does, then it's you're going to have to choose pretty wisely. In this case, I'm likely going to end up going with the Tectonic Shifter, but I haven't for sure figured out what path that I want to take with all 5 of my points. Additionally, we have Ascension, which if you've ever played a game like Diablo 3, you're probably already familiar with this system. It is just like the Paragon system. We have some core stats that we can put points into, which can buff anything from armor piercing to weapon damage to healing received to critical chance to anomaly damage. And it doesn't seem like it adds a whole lot, so I don't necessarily go in there every single time I get a point and allocate it. So a lot of times I may build up a bunch of points and then dump it, so that way I see some type of significant improvement while I'm playing and immediately. Otherwise, having a 1%, a 0.5%, a 0.1%, increase to something, that's not going to be necessarily noticeable unless you're really, really, really paying attention to numbers, which I promise you, I am not. So I do love the diversity that we're going to be able to get into with our classes. It's not a ton more, but it is more, right? So I may find out that once I get to my capstone that I don't necessarily want to go with the Seismic Shifter, and I can mess with some things in order to better suit what my pack's build is going to be. It may turn out that something else is going to be better for the end game content, and this just adds a little bit more diversity into your builds. Is it perfect? No, not by any means, but I think it's a nice improvement over what we had initially. All right. Something else that I really did like, and you'll see as I go along, is I really enjoyed the boss fights. I really enjoyed the new monsters. There's not a lot, and you'll be facing a lot of the same type of enemy types, but there's quite a few new enemy types as well. And I did enjoy the story of the Worldslayer. If you had any questions about how the original story ended, this does kind of tie some of those loopholes, but it still does leave enough of a cliffhanger and questions unanswered for there to be some additional content later on down the road, which is good. Some folks thought that this was a very shallow game. I actually enjoyed it for what it was. I never thought it was perfect. I never thought it was be-all, but I did really enjoy this game. As certainly enough to be able to play this game through multiple times with multiple characters to see what class that I liked the most. And it just turned out that I enjoyed Devastator the most. So this is going to be an example of a new monster type, obviously. And it was really neat and fun to play, but it hits for a lot of damage, tosses you around like a rag doll, and additionally hits a whole bunch of and he can also lock out your abilities.
Outrider, you need to hurry. The storm is almost on us.
What does that?
Scared it off.
Another thing that I really enjoyed about the content was...
Zahidi!
Oh, you know what? I'm going to put a pin in that. We'll continue after this.
Son of a bitch! These ice storms are getting more insane every day.
Zahidi! Thought you said these pods were protected
No,
from the...
no! I have to pull this data before everything's fried. No, God. He was right.
Who?
I didn't believe it. But the anomaly, it's growing. Exponentially now. Everything we did to bring these pods down. Weapons. Seeds for crops. All of our knowledge from Earth. In the end, none of it matters. If we don't find a way to stop what's coming, there will be nowhere on this planet for us to hide.
Maybe it's time we stop hiding.
Okay, so as I was saying, one of the other things that I really did enjoy about Worldslayer is actually the environment designs, and you'll see when I get into one of the next big areas. it was just a lot of fun to explore, and it was a lot of fun to check everything out.
That can't be good.
I mean, even in the tundra here like this, I mean, it's just absolutely, amazing looking, and
Janet, do you copy?
yeah.
Jenna?
But of
Fiona?
course, with
Bailey?
this game, I think we all
Shit.
know
Zahidi,
that
stay with the pod.
the levels themselves
Something's
are
wrong.
pretty shallow. They're on rails, so
Whole
there
flocks
is
of
that.
demon birds
Not
dropping
just
from the
10,
sky.
like,
If they
it's
can't
a perfect
adapt to
system.
survive these storms, I don't want to know our odds.
The creatures here, the anomalies always mutated them fast enough before. This shift happening now, it's too severe.
During the beta, I thought that the story, some of the story elements were a bit janky, in terms of, like, for instance, I already don't remember why I'm here, but my truck isn't. Things like that.
There isn't anyone.
It just seems disjointed. Why are we even here? How long does it take place after the events of the original story? Stuff like that. We don't really get any context in that. That's probably my biggest issue. To be honest, one of the biggest issues that I have with this expansion at all is the sheer price of the content. Do I think it's worth it? I can't make that determination until I get into the ending. From what I've seen, I'd say no. The story, though it didn't finish it today, it can be today. It's not that long at all. There's no pretending that it is. Not that for absolutely everything. Some of the things that I noticed that they changed as well is my build, specifically that reload that I did. I kind of really counted on that reload, swap a weapon, reload again, in order to to kill things, especially big groups, rather quickly. And it's now on a global cooldown, so I can no longer do that kind of stuff. So was it a fix that needed to be happen, or needed to happen? Arguably, yes. Am I happy about it? Nope. There has been some discussions that endgame content is not soloable, and that this has been a concern that I've been carrying as well. Talking to some folks on the Discord who participated in the beta more thoroughly than I did, has assured me that, especially with a good build, that all endgame content is absolutely soloable. And the reason why this is a concern, not a concern, is because, let's face it, there's not a ton of people playing this game. Not to mention, there certainly has been some controversial issues with matchmaking, getting booted out of the group for one reason or another, not being able to complete things or have the benefit of the loot, and this has been a concern of mine. So, really the only time you were safe is grouping up with a friend or someone that you knew. And I personally am not the kind of person that likes to group up a whole lot anyway, despite the fact that I like to share information. I like to do the YouTube. I run some clans in Diablo, Immortal. Yes, I said it. I played Diablo Immortal. I'm a free-to-play player, and so far it's been fun. But that's not what this
Outrider, in here! We took shelter in the cave.
It locks out all my abilities. Run! Come on, jump. I don't know why it gets hung up sometimes like that. It's like an extra long animation. Yes, you're seeing that some of the first drops that I get in the expansion are already stronger than my current gear, which is CT15 gear. That is true, but you'll also notice it's not much better. And really, for whatever reason, my Roaring Umbra is kind of crap, so just take that for what it is. Any new mods? Nope. Some of the other things that were added, if it's been a while since you played, this might be good information, is that, one, all of those drop pod missions no longer have a timer. There is no bronze, silver, gold tier type of thing, so you don't have to absolutely rush through it anymore, which is, in my opinion, great. I always felt very unrewarding when I missed gold by a second or two and got absolutely crap drops. That was one of the things that was really discouraging me from wanting to play, especially when some of the currency costs in order to get some of the legendary gear from oh gosh, I forgot his name. I'm so bad with names. The vendor that sold you legendary gear. Yeah, it was very annoying when you couldn't afford it because you missed it by just that much, and then you have to go through a whole nother one. Call that something stupid to bitch about, but it's just an opinion that I have. But something that we do have is now we can do transmog. So if I want to, I can go through and wear Marshall's gear. It doesn't show that I have a whole lot, and I'm pretty sure this is simply because of the fact that I haven't dismantled a lot of my legendary gear, which is absolutely true. I typically don't dismantle my legendary gear. I have a bunch in my stash right now that I'll probably go ahead and do, if nothing else, in order to get the cosmetic items. But needless to say, it looks like I have some hunting to do.
It's another vision. They just keep getting worse.
Body rotting, split open, frozen shadows. She sees you. She sees you coming.
Who?
It's too late. You can't save it. You'll try. It'll consume you.
Jenna, I'm not going anywhere.
But you are. I'm so sorry.
Stay here. I'll clear our way back to the truck. A bunch of those big guys are on the move.
If it's true, they can sense a storm before it erupts. And we know there are a lot more storms coming.
Yeah. It might be the last we see of them. Clear.
We'll be there.
Outrider, we need to return to Rift Town. I know someone that might have answers about these ice storms.
God, what happened? We were here just days ago.
This must be what I saw in my vision. This is only how it begins.
Shira, do you read me? Shira!
Outrider, I can hear you.
What the hell happened?
What does it look like? We thought it was just another storm, but we lost nearly everything on the surface. Anyone who couldn't move fast enough.
Where are you sheltered?
In the old sub-levels. We won't last long here. There's an elevator we rigged. It can bring you down.
Shira, what happened?
It's over. I thought the signal, the pods, is the Hades' whole plan, but... the anomaly destroys everything. I don't know how we'll survive this.
There might still be a way.
You! You traitor! You think we're gonna find out?
Sure, what the hell?
He's been sharing information with the insurgents, Lieutenant!
No, I have to find... No, you don't understand! No, he can save us!
Save what? Everything we've built is gone. I'm sick of your bullshit missions. All your fucking hell!
Wait!
Get up. Okay. Who the hell you been talking to?
Salvador. Francisco Salvador. He's with the insurgents, but he's a scientist. We just shared data.
And you didn't think to tell me you were talking to the other side?
Listen to me. What he found, it could be an answer. But he disappeared before I got the final readings. Without those, I don't...
Salvador. If he's even still alive, where do I find him?
He worked deep behind enemy lines in a place called Black Gulch.
Black Gulch. You don't want to go looking for that place, Outrider.
Why? What's there?
An altered. All we know is they call him the Commander. Black Gulch is his. You won't come out of there alive.
Yeah, well... nobody's coming out of this alive if no one tries. Come on.
Got a new mission, people. Zahidi knows a scientist who may have answers about these storms. We're looking for a place called Black Gulch.
No, that place, I keep seeing it as shadows, ripping, shredding soul.
Hey, we're all friends here. Isn't that right, Outrider?
Oops. I just cut her off. Sorry, Johnny. Okay, so while you're playing, of course you'll have access to your camp as always, but now even throughout the story you have access to the drop pod missions if you care to just go get some loot, level up, just whatever have you. You can go and get some stuff done. The only thing I have yet to do from the original is the Eye of the Storm, and that was just mostly because you kind of needed a party, and I didn't like grouping up, and but I will eventually try to see if it's soloable later on. Oh, I said I wanted to go to my stash, right? Wonder if I put everything in my inventory. If I'll suddenly have all of the... Clearly I already have that one. So maybe this doesn't count. Let's find out. See, I had 3 others that I did get rid of. But I wonder why they're not here anymore. Or, like, at all. That is weird. Marshals. Right there. Okay. Oops, didn't want to do that. Since I'm not going to need these things anymore, and honestly, new gear can be fairly easily obtained these days. I might keep a couple of my god rolls. Now that I think about it. Yep, just save a couple weapons for other characters. Eventually I need to get rid of all that other stuff too. Oop. Okay, moving on. Sorry about that.
This is bad, but what I've seen, it only gets worse.
Tiago, that's his name.
We're here. Driftwater's up ahead.
Okay, Tiago. What am I looking for?
A boat. You'll need to find one at the harbor to get across the water. There, you should find a back way, under the insurgents' walls.
Tiago, how do you know a way into this fortress?
I was in prison there, tortured beyond... I thought I was dead. But I managed to escape through the sewers and stole a boat. From here to the forest, and... I never looked back.
The people who lived here in Driftwater, Tiago. Who were they?
An ECA settlement, before the war. There's nothing but ghosts here now.
What happened to the villagers?
There's a story of a night fisherman whose daughter would ring the harbor bell each dawn to call him home. But one night, insurgents came in the fog, and the fisherman slept right through. The entire village slaughtered. When the fisherman returned and saw, he tore into the soldiers. He didn't last long. The next day, a thick fog rolled in and a figure stalked through it, with a long raincoat and bloody hook. The fisherman's ghost, driven mad by guilt, taking his revenge. The harbor bell tolled for each insurgent dead. They say you can hear the bell still tolling.
I can't hear the bell still tolling. And yeah, I do like to explore everything. So always like journal entries, things like that. I've already picked up a bunch of them the first time I came through here. Again, just having some issues with recording. But I didn't get much farther than this, so.
No boats on this pier. Ah, looks like there's one over there on that dry dock.
Exiles! Attack!
What the hell?
Got the altar trapped!
Outrider, we can hear shots.
It's insurgents! The village isn't abandoned, it was a damn ambush! Okay. Just need to get to that boat on the dry dock and get the hell out of here.
Ah, so there we go. I was saying earlier that the equipment is going to start having that kind of anomaly type of theme, and this is more or less what I'm talking about. So I think this looks really neat. Like the other one had that PAX influence, but this one has that anomaly influence to it. Just looks neat. my alarm. I already did it, though.
Some kind of writing.
Oh, really? Don't say. Fool.
Oh, damn it. This boat's a wreck.
It wasn't much of a boat.
Is that the fisherman? No. No, there's no way. That can't be some fisherman's ghost. I need to get a grip. Letting Tiago's stories get to my head.
Outrider, we're seeing something strange. A fog moving in over the river. There's a light in it. You need to leave this place.
Ghosts for our ghost town!
Let me through, fisherman! I have no quarrel with you.
Fisherman? That's right. I'm a goddamn ghost, you ECA fuck. Now, how about I turn you into one?
was no fisherman's ghost. Just an insurgent dressing up
Fun
in a
fight.
raincoat to scare off trespassers.
Fun fight.
Are you so sure?
I,
Oh.
got a boat. Think it's time to get out of this place.
I got a boat. Oh, looks like I got a PAX point too. So that's cool. Alright, so let's pick up gear and I will go into this, into my skills tab. Alright, so the icon I see up there in my mini-map, one of them shows that it is, I was going to say this is probably a non-apocalypse, but maybe there's one of these is, no? Yes, there we go. So that's what the icon looks like if it's apocalypse. So I was kind of always wondering, like, how do we know? Because the God Ray itself doesn't look any different from the other gear. So now we know that the icon up there is what's going to differ. So let's take a look at that gear. Alright, so I got a weapon here. Oop. Ricochet. 87 as opposed to 79. No. It's hard to say which one I would like better. Critical shots create an icy blast and inflicts freeze on enemies within a 4 meter. Okay. I'd say it might be worth a shot. Alright, so let's also look at this. Now, if I get rid of this, I'm going to lose my my bonus. But I only need 3 pieces, so it may not be so bad. Alright. Gravity Leap. So, Bloody Crush. I already have that. Wait. I don't. So that would be good. Ground Crush. So I already have. But that's there. Armor's down, though. So, this may not be something worth actually wearing. I don't use those. Don't use that. It's going to be hard for me to give up my set bonuses. I'm not going to lie. Okay. Alright, so just going to go ahead and end the video here. We're talking like the first 50 minutes of gameplay. Got a chance to see the boss. Talked about the Apocalypse gear. Talked about the Ascension. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and before I call it a day, let's take a look at this. So I got PAX Point. I kind of wanted to go more towards Tectonic Shifter. That's where I went with during the beta. Mostly because this is more your gun damage. I do more anomaly damage, so that's kind of where I want to go. Not only that, but looking at the abilities, I got Earthquake, I've got Leap. Yeah, so chances are I'm going to be going that route. Probably going to be going energy transmission. Wow. Okay, so that's actually pretty nice. Cool. 5 points to spend, so definitely want big damage. And I'll give myself some health. Cool. Alright, well, like I said, if there's anything that you'd want to see specifically, let me know. I do plan on creating more videos and sharing more videos, just going through Worldslayer content. I don't know. I can't promise it's going to be like, oh, well, he finished this, then he's going to go right next to the next area. I may not. I haven't decided yet. Depends on how this video does. And but I'll definitely show off some of the endgame content once I get there. For the time being, there's also Moxie, who's known for his Borderlands videos as well as his Outriders videos, has put out some content explaining best class, best gear farms, things like that. So cool. All right, well, again, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you taking the time. If you liked it, please throw it a like, subscribe for more content as I go on with gaming in general, unboxings, whatever have you. And all right, that's it. Thank you. I'll talk to you all later. Horseman out.